Hello and welcome to Restore 2022. We are reading through the Gospel of Matthew and today we're in chapter 14. And in this chapter we are confronted with the terror of the beheading of the John the Baptist, the forerunner of the Messiah. Then Jesus addressing the stress of the disciples and the need of the big crowd by providing abundantly and then teaching them about faith and courage. Matthew wants us to know about the importance of the death of the John the Baptist. And actually, chapter 14 is serving its two purposes. It's bringing into closure the ministry of this prophet. This ministry started from the desert and it's finishing in prison. But also it highlights what Herod thinks of Jesus. The story of these two kings, really, King Jesus and King Herod. King Herod is Herod Antipas, also described as Tetrarch. He was the son of Herod the Great, which actually was king at the time that Jesus was born. And we'll meet him again at the death of Jesus, when actually because of the judgment of Jesus, he becomes friends with Pilate. We read about this in Luke chapter 23. And John the Baptist has said that he must decrease and for Jesus to increase. And maybe John meant it also that he must decrease to the point of death. Now, we call Stephen the first Christian martyr, but John the Baptist is the first New Testament martyr, because he got martyred for the cause of truth and righteousness. And because of this experience, Jesus had to go away in the place of solitude. But it doesn't work actually, because large crowds follow him, hoping for Jesus to bless them. And Matthew reminds us that it's in the midst of this that Jesus is going to reach the crowds. And Matthew marks it as Jesus being full of compassion. The disciples are confronted by the crowd's needs to provide food, and they ask Jesus to dismiss them. But Jesus wants to teach them a lesson of provision, a lesson of abundance, which actually it's pointing out, it's illustrating the lessons that he taught them on the Sermon on the Mount, when he encouraged them to trust him, when he encouraged them to rely on him, because he was going to provide for their needs. He told them to pray for the daily bread. He told them not to worry and be anxious about what to drink and what to eat and what to dress. And again, he's addressing all these things with a miracle, because he is full of compassion. But also he wants to teach the disciples so they can benefit as well from what it means to rely in Jesus. Matthew points us to the next lesson that Jesus is teaching his disciples in this school of discipleship. He goes to this place to pray while the disciples go into the sea. And while Jesus is praying on the mountain, the disciples are experiencing this tough weather. And Jesus appears now walking on water, where he sees the disciples being fearful. Actually, this emotion has accompanied them, and Jesus assures them and blesses them and teaches them the lesson again. They can trust in him. Jesus is not only just this amazing teacher, but he is the Almighty Messiah. And this, I pray, to be true as he displays his compassion, as he displays his healing power and his reassurance and his presence with us today.